So in the Big East tournament, there's a lot to talk about in the Big East tournament. There's St. John's versus Seton Hall are both on the bubble and they play each other first rounds. They're kind of fighting. One of them will get a tournament spot, one of them won't. So that's a good thing to keep an eye on in the quarterfinals. Georgetown's been good lately, and they could play Villanova in the first round, who's missing a couple of their stars there. So that could be an interesting matchup on that quarterfinal day. And then you move down the list. Creighton has their problems. That could be a tough matchup if they play Xavier or Butler there. So just a lot to be scared of on that quarterfinals, March 11th, which I believe is Thursday. It might get a little wild in the Big East. How do you think it plays out?
Oh man! My first thing was I wanted to see how Villanova would do without their best player. As you tell, they lost. Then I wanted to see how Creighton did with their coach, and they played Butler, and they handled Butler really well without their head coach, which was surprising. But they have a lot of older guys on their team, which really helps. Because if it's a younger team, then that head coach really has to be there to help them facilitate an offense, get everything going, and help with the runs and the pushes. So, I man, looking at it, I'm sitting here. I want to pick Villanova to lose their first round. I think they'll get through that first game, but I honestly don't think they'll get past that first game. I think St. John's will move on against Seton Hall, and then they're going to upset Villanova. So you're going to have St. John's come out of the top. On the bottom side, you're going to have Xavier play Creighton and Providence play UConn. Providence is your high-scoring offense. UConn with Bouknight. Bouknight, it all comes out of Bouknight. If he's on, UConn can win. If not, then I like David Duke and Nate Watson. So I'm going to go with Providence upsetting UConn on the bottom side, and then Creighton's going to beat Xavier. And then I think you're going to see a Creighton against St. John's Big East Conference Championship. And it's crazy to say because I was not huge in Creighton the last episode. But after watching them play without their head coach, it made me reassured. So I'm going to go with Creighton's going to win the Big East.
Interesting. Man, I've been torn all day about this particular bracket. I will kind of reiterate what I've talked about in the past, but Jay Wright coaching Villanova, I know they lost their last game, but they were on the road against a tough team. First game without Gillespie, their star player there. I think that they were kind of still working out the kinks, but I think that they're the ones I'm taking in the tournament. So I think that they obviously get past the winner of Georgetown Marquette. And then St. John's has so much talent, but they've always, throughout the season, they've had the games where they just turn the ball over way too much. They make too many mental mistakes, so they have to limit those. But I think Villanova is one of those teams who, being well coached, can capitalize against a team like St. John's. If St. John's is able to get past Seton Hall there. So I think Villanova beats them. The bottom half of the bracket, I expect some upsets there. I think Xavier's a great team, and Butler's a team very capable of beating Creighton. Creighton's been good all season, but they've shown their inconsistencies, and I've kind of been against them in a lot of betting lines, just keeping my eye on that. So I think they're capable of being upset. I really like Providence. They're a little young. But I think it will be UConn versus Xavier on the bottom half, and then Villanova versus St. John's on the top. Obviously Villanova, and I think UConn will reach the finals there. And I'm going to go with the 1 seed Villanova taking it. I know it might not even be the popular pick now with the way everything played out. It looks like Creighton's has the best betting odds at 220. Villanova 225 and UConn 240. So 3 teams right there ready to pounce on that Big East tournament. But if you look down the line, dark horse teams, you said it, St. John's has the capability of making a run. They're plus 1,000 in in a tournament where some of the top teams are having issues. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on there. I think mine, Xavier, they were plus 750. They're a good team. They could make a little bit of a run. But those three teams at the top at 220, I think are all susceptible to losing early, but I'm going to roll with Villanova taking it and Xavier kind of being that dark horse there.
I like that. What's Providence? What's their
They're plus 2,800.
Ooh, I might have to throw a couple of bucks on them.
I know, and like Georgetown and Marquette are decent ones to throw a little bit on. I mean, Georgetown's plus 6,600, Marquette's plus 3,300. I mean, if you're going to pick a year for one of those double-digit seeds or, like a 7 seed or higher to win it, I think with all the problems going on with the top teams in the Big East, this might be the season.
Oh, absolutely.
Just a couple small wagers on some of those bottom teams. I mean, Butler could make a run. Georgetown, Marquette, Providence, St. John's at plus 1,000, Seton Hall plus 1,000, and they have to win 3 games in a row. So it's definitely not a bad idea to put a little bet on teams like that.
Yeah, I mean, you go to the Southern Cal Championship, you had a 7 seed make it to the finals, a 7th seed. So, like you're saying, this is the year of the high seeds.
Yeah, the Big East is going to be crazy. There's just so much on the line in that quarterfinals matchup. Like I talked about, they could be, 4 upsets on the same day, the way everything's playing out. But I think just when that gets on everyone's mind, I think Villanova puts it together with Jay Wright and the coaching kind of pulls through. So that's going to be my pick. And I think, who did you have? Creighton winning it?
Yeah, I had Creighton winning it. And my dark horse, I'm going to have
Good,
Providence be my dark horse.
Creighton has an offense. They can make a run in March as well, but they just have to put it all together and be able to defend and rebound as well. So that will wrap up the Big East. Going to be exciting.